All right, this video is 39, 40, and 41. We are solving the equation and we'll check our solution. Before we solve, we need to make sure we have a common denominator. I'm going to rewrite my equation. I have 4 over a plus 5 over 3a, which equals 3 over 1. Remember, there's an invisible 1 under this one. We need to make the denominators match. I noticed that 2 of them have an a, so that means they all need an a. This one has a 3 and the rest just have 1, so they all also need a 3. So my common denominator is going to be 3a, and that's what we want the bottom of each fraction to be. For the first one, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by 3 to get 3a. The second one's good to go, and the last one, we're going to multiply by a on the top and a on the bottom. When I do that, I have 4 times 3 gives me 12 over 3a, and then we have our plus 5 over 3a, and all of that equals 3a divided by, oh sorry, when I did this one I did it wrong. We actually have a 1 on the bottom, so we need to multiply by 3a and multiply by 3a. So on top, I would really have 9a, all over 3a. Now, because the bottoms all match, I can kind of disregard them and just look at the top. So I really have 12 plus 5 equals 9a. And we're just going to solve from there. I'm going to zoom out so I have a little more space. And then we'll simplify. What do I get when I do 12 plus 5? It's going to be 17 equals 9a. And then to get a by itself, we'll divide both sides by 9. And we get a equals 17 over 9. Now to check your solution, you're just going to type each number into your calculator. You're going to plug it in for a. So I'm going to check that 4 over 17 over 9, turn it into a decimal, plus 5 over 3 times 17 over 9 equals 3. But you can go ahead and do that on your own. But again, your answer would be 17 over 9. And you can turn that into a decimal, it's totally fine. The next one we need to solve. To solve, we are going to cross multiply these guys. So I'm going to end up doing 4 times x plus 5. And then I'm going to set that equal to negative 1 times x plus 1. To solve, we're going to take our first number out front, we're going to distribute. So we're going to do 4 times x gives us a 4x. 4 times 5 gives me 20. And all of that equals negative 1 times x, which is negative x. And negative 1 times 1, which is a negative 1. From there, you're just solving for x. So move all your x's to one side, move all the numbers. I'm going to add x to both sides. When I do that, I get 5x plus 20 equals negative 1. And then I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. Zoom out. And when I do that, I get 5x equals negative 21. And then your last step is to divide both sides by 5. And you would get x equals negative 21 over 5 as your final answer. Again, if you want to check it, you can just go ahead and plug it in. You can turn your answer into a decimal. You don't need to leave it as a fraction. I've just lost my calculator again, so here we are. And the last one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cross multiply and solve for c, hopefully. So I have a c plus 3 and a c plus 5. So I'm going to do c plus 3 times c plus 5. And then I'm going to set that equal to c plus 8 times c minus 4. For this one, I am going to have to do the box method twice. So I'm going to set up 2 boxes. My first one, we have c plus 3 and a c plus 5. If I do c times c, I get c squared. 3 times c is 3c. 5 times c is 5c, and 3 times 5 is 15. On the other side, we have c plus 8 and c minus 4. c times c gives me c squared. C times 8 gives me an 8c. C times 4 is negative 4c. And negative 4 times 8 is a negative 32. We are going to combine our like terms and rewrite it. So I have c squared, and these two go together, plus 8c plus 15 equals, and then the other side we have c squared, 8c minus 4c gives me a plus 4c minus 32. We want to move all of our c's to one side. I'm going to start by zooming out for a moment, making me some more room. Let's move our c squared. So I'm going to subtract c squared from both sides. When I do that, these c squareds cancel and these ones do too. So we're left with 8c plus 15 equals 4c minus 32. I'm going to go ahead and move my 4c by subtracting it from both sides. Let's use a pen and not a highlighter for that though. Minus 4c minus 4c. When I do that, I am left with 4c plus 15 equals negative 32. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 15 from both sides. Subtract 15, which gives me 4c. 4c equals negative, what am I going to get? 45 for 6 for 7. And then we'll actually just bring this over here. So we have 4c equals negative 47. We're going to divide both sides by 4. And your final answer would be c equals negative 47 over 4. Again, type it into a calculator, get a decimal. You can plug it in to check it. I would, because I did it quickly, and like I said, lost my calculator. So, yeah.